Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the workshop meeting for Aberdeen Township Council, Thursday, May 15, 2025. Roll call, please.
Councilman Cannon. Councilman Hirsch.
Here.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Here.
Councilman Bertucci.
Excuse.
Councilman Swindell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Here.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes, thank you very much. This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice to be given to the newspapers of record, posted in the municipal building, filed with the township clerk. The next open public meeting of the Township Council will be held on Thursday, June 5th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Mr. Manager, you want to walk us through the agenda?
Yes, Mayor. Go through the agenda first and then have some items to go over for discussion. First we have tonight is 2025-62, and that is the release of the performance bond for Lot 183, Lot 11.01. And 2025-63 is a inclusion of a Chapter 159 for the budget for $475,000 for the Monmouth County Open Space Grant. Now, you do know that we were awarded that grant, but we didn't get the paperwork to say that it's going to be in our accounts until this past couple weeks. So it did not make the budget. So of course, as you all know, if it comes in after the fact, this resolution goes on for DCA to take a look at through the CFO. So you'll approve that tonight. We'll send that down, and then that'll be allowed to be inserted into the budget as normal. We would get any time of the year after the budget's approved. So that is the agenda for this evening. We will need an executive session for 2 items. And I'll just go over a couple things with everybody. Fire District 2, Cliffwood, has been working with the police department on some road requests that we need to bring to you guys. We're still working on it, just to give you guys a heads up. And it has to do with the fire trucks trying to get onto different roads in the Cliffwood section of town. One area that they're looking at is Delaware Ave between Bayview and Borden Streets. They're most likely, the police department traffic bureau will recommend, after a little bit more traffic study or reviews, recommend Delaware between Bayview and Borden becoming no parking on one side of the roadway, east or west, to allow easier access onto Delaware Ave for fire apparatuses. And then the other road that they're looking at right now is Primrose Lane and Hawthorne Street. And the same thing, looking to have parking only on one side of the street. The fire department has gone, Primrose with a no parking on the northbound side of Hawthorne Street from Primrose to Shore Concourse. So the police department, traffic bureau has been driving with the fire department in the actual fire trucks to see what their issues are, making some of those turns, and they have had problems where the truck then cannot get down, and that wasn't even an emergency scene, it was just them driving. So once we see just a little bit more, I have a couple questions, I think, for traffic, and then if everything is well or there's other questions, we'll bring to you guys an ordinance for your consideration. And then the other item I just want to bring up, and we're working on to bring something to everyone, which is from the woman that was here at the last meeting, Susan Cakis, regarding the Superfund Act and doing a municipality-passed ordinance on that. So I'm going to work with Joe to finish that up, and then we'll bring something for a draft form to show everyone, and then if everyone's good, then ask for your consideration to pass that as well. So those are the 2 discussion items. Like I said, we will need an executive, and if there's any questions on the 2 items that are on the agenda for 2 resolutions. Okay.
Yes, I will do that. Let the record show that Councilman Cannon is present. And any questions to the manager on the agenda for tonight's meeting? Any questions at all? Not seeing any. I will now take a motion to leave workshop to go to the regular meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Cannon.
Here.
Councilman Hirsch.
Here.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Here.
Councilman Swindell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Here.
Trustee Lurie.
Yes, thank you very much. This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice was given to the newspapers of record, posted in the municipal building, and filed with the township clerk. The next open public meeting of the Township Council will be held on Thursday, June 5th, 2025, at 7:30 p.m. Would you all please rise for a moment of silence and salute the flag. As we do every meeting, we always have a moment of silence to thank our fighting men and women in uniform who protect us here on our soil and foreign soils to help us meet forums like this. At this time, I'd like to have you have a moment to yourself or any personal intentions that you have. I pledge allegiance to
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Please be seated. Tonight we're honored to read a proclamation for National Police Week and Peace Officers Memorial Day, the week of May 11th to the 17th. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week of May 15th falls on as National Police Week. The members of the Aberdeen Township Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the Township of Aberdeen. It is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement officers, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. Whereas the Aberdeen Township Police Department are committed to the highest professional standards and working in partnership with our community to meet the challenges by reducing crime, creating a safe and welcoming environment, and improving the quality of life for our community and those who visit it. So now on behalf of this great town council and as mayor of the Township of Aberdeen, I do proclaim May 11th to the 17th as the National Police Week and May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day in the Township of Aberdeen, and call upon all community members, civic and education organizations to join in commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered dedicated service to their communities. Chief, if you join me. Sure. I'm more than happy to present this to you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief, very much.
Sure. Thank you all very much for the honor. The honor is mine. I do accept this on behalf of the men and women of the Aberdeen Township Police Department. I think you should just take, as we took a moment of silence, the real heroes are the reason that we're celebrating today as National Peace Officers Day. Those are the brave men and women who didn't come home to their families and didn't come back to their communities, who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So on behalf of those families, I just want to say thank you.
You want us to stand?
Stand up. Photo with Marty. Very nice. Excellent. Next thing on the agenda, number 6, hearing of the citizens on agenda items only. So if anybody would like to come up to the microphone and speak about what's on the agenda tonight, please do so. Okay, not seeing anyone come up, I'm going to ask for a report starting with the township manager.
All I have for you is our Memorial Day service is on Memorial Day at 11:30 at Veterans Park Memorial.
Anyone else, members of council, anybody have any reports they'd like to make? Yes?
I just wanted to, on May 8th, I wanted to thank the township and all of the people who worked on bringing someone down from the state to help seniors who were interested in putting in the application for Anchor, Jersey, the tax freeze, and also the new state of Jersey. We had a really big group. I think there were about 80 people there, and it was really a nice opportunity for people to get firsthand information on something that sometimes is a little scary, especially for those who are not used to doing things online. So not only did we do that particular event, but we also are bringing back some people from the state who will come in with computers and help people to actually file. And I think that's September 17th, if I'm correct. So that will be another event. And if you do know a senior who is used to getting their Anchor chat call, every year, this is a different year because you're going to have to fill that form out again. So you're going to have to do it in order to stay as part of the Anchor program and as far as the tax freeze program. So thank you, Brian, and everyone who worked on that.
It was a good day.
It was very
It
good.
was an excellent day, and Jackie, thank you. No, that was Marie.
Yeah, yes, Marie was
Oh, we can
excellent.
always thank Jackie for everything she
No
does,
problem.
right? Everything excellent. Anyone else from council have anything they'd like to add?
Yeah, Mayor.
Yes.
It's a pleasure going with all of you down to the sheriff's office to see their facility down there and the dispatch services they offer as a shared service to the municipalities. It was pretty clear to me that the sheriff had a lot of resources and has invested a lot of resources in public safety. It made me feel a lot safer when we left the facility, the 911 center and the technology they have in place there, particularly with the integration of cameras throughout
Oh, amazing.
public spaces, and then basically any entity that, like, they were private entities, churches, religious houses of worship, you can join the sheriff's program, where and you can have the black box put at your facility, which beams the cameras to Freehold, essentially. It was pretty amazing. Brookdale, we were personally serving Brookdale Communities Campus without giving away a lot of details about how they're running it, because they're security oriented there. If there was ever an incident on Brookdale, there was a person in the field that could see almost everything. It's pretty incredible. And so, it really informed my decision-making process in terms of perhaps joining a shared service where we would dispatch over to there. And also have direct connections into the trunk lines for Verizon, more or less as the county level of government and the investment that the sheriff has made in this system. It's not something that we could possibly match on a municipal level. And it was very impressive in the resources and the resources that they can lend to our police department as a force multiplier, particularly in case of an incident or, I'm not just talking active shooter and stuff. I'm talking like, someone's boat sinks out in the middle of the bay off Cliffwood Beach, stuff like that. Things that we just do not have the resources to match and be part of or sharing services with them. Seems like a really good idea to me on that life, to be honest with you. Also, we feel really safe, much more safe as a resident of Monmouth County, knowing the incredible security stuff that they have going on down there to protect our kids in schools and things like that. It was really comforting to see right there. Someone is looking into that and taking care of that. So kudos to the sheriff on the presentation that he showed us, and I look forward to more discussions here about how we can join in that system and share the services for our residents, because they were pretty incredible, I have to say.
Very good. And in addition to that, Craig, if you'd like to expand on the ambulance service that's coming also as part of this.
Yeah, we've had this discussion in this room for, almost 15 years now, it's ever since the Cliffwood, was what's now the community center in Cliffwood Beach, as most of you know, used to be the EMS. And, for the last 15 years, every municipality has had that issue across the county with volunteers and the difficulty affording living in Monmouth County and paying the taxes often requires two incomes, and so that you don't have volunteers, or requires overtime, which then you don't have volunteers. And so, that's been a recurring theme, and the sheriff is poised to fix it. For those of you who come to our meetings for a while, or been around, or people in the town or in the back, Monmouth tried to do this privately, and it's clearly not a private market service. Like the Medicare reimbursement does not reimburse the cost of a private company running the ambulance. That's clear. Monmouth tried to take it all over and then economically failed as a private market service. As a municipal service, we once had 3 squads, and now we have we had 3 squads across Mount Aberdeen, and now we have 1, which is doing a great job, by the way, at the moment. Probably the best in the last decade of answering the calls and being timely and stuff like that. But it's still based on volunteerism, and it also costs us the same amount of money in terms of donating to them to keep their oxygen tanks full. Is almost the same as the private service that has a better economy of scale that covers the daytime here that we pay for. It's almost a $250,000 expense here at the municipal level, and the response times, frankly, are not great. They're not great. They do their best. Our volunteers do a great job. When you get in your car from your house and drive to get the ambulance and then go find the patient, there's just even on your best day, it's 5 minutes with the lights and sirens on at best. The sheriff showed us response times of 1 minute and 40 seconds where MedStar is currently operating. Showed us response times under 1 minute in some cases. And functionally, what the sheriff's proposing is your traditional first aid squad with an ambulance there that everyone reports to and goes out to. He's talking about abolishing that in Monmouth County. Subsuming that, or it can still exist in a community events fashion, like covering football games or things like that. But functionally, when you call 911, he's going to have ambulances patrolling the county. He already has them in the center of the county, and their response times are under 2 minutes, which is really important for anyone who's ever had a real emergency, not a broken arm, when the ambulance comes. So the stuff he showed us with that was incredible. We've talked at this table for years about how it's not a private service, and it's not a municipal service, and so it seems like the county level of government is the best place to provide this service on an economic level and spread the economy of scale across, multiple towns and jurisdictions. And so the sheriff has recognized that as well, has taken on the task of doing it, and intends on spreading it up to here. And so our volunteers are welcoming this change, because they already work anyway as paid EMTs during the day, and they volunteer at night. So we're moving in that direction, and hopefully it'll be here sooner rather than later, because it will save the taxpayers of Aberdeen probably $250,000 when it does happen. So that's another shared service that we explored with the sheriff, was joining the MedStar system as well, because we've struggled for over a decade to try to figure it out here. And it's not like it's growing. We went from 3 to 1 in a decade. So that was very exciting as well.
It was a great tour. Terrific. Anyone else? Okay, not seeing anyone else, I'll ask Councilman Hirsch for a motion, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, my fellow councilmen, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of the regular and executive meeting of May 1st, 2025.
Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Yes.
Mayor Reed.
Yes, thank you very much. Councilman Cannon?
Yes, Mayor and fellow council members, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the consent agenda, which consists of resolutions 2025-62 and 2025-63, which I'm very happy to see. I believe will go towards the bathrooms, providing our girls with proper bathrooms at their softball field, which is a terrific for our graduating, so thank you to the county for that as well.
Second.
Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Yes.
Mayor Reed.
Yes, thank you very much. Now I'd like to open to agenda item number 10, which is the hearing of the citizens on any items, new business, petitions, anything you'd like to call it. So if there's anything that's on your mind tonight and you'd like to address the council, please do so at this time. Okay, thank you. Not seeing any, we'll move right to the executive session. I'll turn to our attorney for that motion.
Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss litigation, minutes will be kept in one step matter, and the following confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality in the minutes can be made public. Now therefore, be resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Make a motion.
So moved.
Any seconds?
I'll second.
All in favor?
We'll be taking no action at the executive session, so we'll just come back down and close out the evening when it's over. And now I'll have a motion to adjourn, please, to executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming out tonight. We'll see you in a couple of weeks on June 5th. Get home safe.